Hello YouTubers, I'm here to talk to you about ways that you can keep your kids entertained during the midterm break. Now I'm sure that they are super excited to be off for the week and you are probably absolutely dreading it, but here's a couple of ideas of things that you could do to keep them entertained. First off, arts and crafts. They could colour in pictures, they could draw pictures, they could make little monsters or anything like that. Something Halloween themed would be great so that you could use it as a decoration for the house. It all just depends on what the child's into, really. Some kids love drawing, some kids love colouring, some kids love making things. So if you base it around the things that they enjoy doing, you'll end up being able to spend longer doing it because they won't get bored and they won't get sick of doing it. You could go out in the wellies, kicking up the leaves, which I enjoy doing as much as my son does. You could go looking for blackberries if you live in the countryside. You could go looking for little creatures like hedgehogs and things in the trees and in the bushes and things like that. You could go out for a cycle. It's just a great way to get them fresh air during the little break because it is very easy to stay inside because it's not as nice as it was in the summer, so they mightn't want to go into the garden quite as much. So it's just a great way to get them a bit of fresh air and it'll tire them out as well. You could organise a play date with a school friend or a cousin and then they could just play Lego or play video games or do something together. And at least it gives them someone their own age to play with, especially if, like me, you have an only child. It's nice to kind of give them that social interaction. You could do baking, you could do a Halloween themed baking especially. You could go online and just try and find some sort of recipe for something really easy to make, like muffins or scones or something, but that has a little Halloween themed, because kids, I have to say, from my knowledge, kids love baking, and I know it can be messy, but come on, it'll get them stimulated and it'll entertain them. Indoor play centres are a great way to entertain a child for the day. They are super awesome, kids love going to them, and they're a great way to absolutely wreck them for the night. They will sleep that night if you bring them to a play centre. You could go on fundays.ie and see if you can find somewhere local that you could bring them, somewhere not too expensive, because there are those that are going to be more expensive. But most places do have local ones that are €5 for a child, which isn't too bad, and a lot of places will do deals during midterm. Board games are a great way to spend an hour or so, and it's a great way for you to get involved in what your child is doing. My son loves playing snakes and ladders, but I suppose it just depends on the age of the child and what kind of board games they like to do. You could watch a movie. You could get yourself a Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus or Hotel Transylvania or something like that, and sit down, get some popcorn and watch a movie. Or even better yet, you could go to the cinema. Most cinemas will do midweek offers or early in the day offers for kids, so if you just go online and look for your local cinema, you could definitely find a cheap offer and bring them to the cinema, because it's super exciting for kids to get to go somewhere like that, because it's not really a place that you tend to bring them that often. You could build a den. My son loves building dens. He especially loved doing it during summer out in the garden, but we have done it inside a few times. He just uses a big sheet and covers over a couch or a table or something like that, and then he fills it with blankets and toys, and he can spend hours in there just playing by himself. You could set up a treasure hunt. If the weather outside is nice, you could do it outside, or if it's not so nice outside, you could still do it inside. And depending on the age of the child, you could have little written clues that you can put around the place for them to find, or you could have a map with little drawn clues so that they can try and figure out where to go to find the little treasures and things like that. And then at the end, you could have a prize for them. Do not forget that grannies, grandads, aunties and uncles are there for a reason. Make the most of them. Send them to their aunties or uncles or granny or grandads for an hour or two, even if you can, and have a bit of time for yourself. So have a break because you totally deserve it. So that is it. I hope I've given you some good ideas for things that you could do with your kids, and I hope you have a great midterm. Bye!